I want to recommend a TV show to you, and this will be one of those few things that you can watch on TV with a clear conscience, knowing that you're not wasting your time and that it's taking you forward as a business person. So I'll tell you what the TV show is just now, but first a little story. Many of you know that I've just returned from Las Vegas, where I was for EXPCon. That's eXp Realty's national convention. It's a massive spectacle and it's an incredible experience. Now, while I was there, a business colleague of mine named Brent Gove, who I'd not met in the flesh before, we've had lots of kind of meetings online, Brent invited me to a meeting in his suite one night. So that evening, I arrived at Brent Gove's suite, having been invited to this private meeting. And as I was walking down the hallway, if you have seen the Mandalay Bay Hotel, it's kind of got these three wings and it's joined in the center. And it was on the top floor at the very end of one of these wings. And it's looking out over Vegas' beautiful view. I mean, this suite was unbelievable. It had like 2 stories, it had a spiral staircase up the middle of it. And as I got up the lift and I stepped out of the lift and I was walking down the corridor and I could see the door at the very end open, I could say, oh, that's obviously where this event is. As I arrived at the door, Brent came out. He was welcoming other guests who were coming. There were people around. And he kind of saw me through the crowd and he said, "Stephen, good to have you." And he came through and he gave me a hug. And then standing right next to me, I hadn't even noticed, he said, "This is Glenn Sanford." Glenn Sanford is the founder of EXP. He's a billionaire. He's been voted, I think, the most influential man in real estate in the world, or second most, or whatever it was. Put it this way, when I met him, immediately I found myself calling him Mr. Sanford. I said, "Hello, Mr. Sanford, it's lovely to meet you. I'm from EXP in South Africa." And he was wonderful. "Where are you from?" "Cape Town." And then he turned to his right, kind of behind me, and he said, "Well, let me introduce you to Glenn." And I turned around and there was a face I knew. Now, I don't know if you've ever met anyone that you've watched on TV, or you've walked into a famous celebrity, maybe a Springbok rugby player or something, in an airport, and like you've been face to face with someone, and you, for a moment, you're like, is this a friend? How you, like, your brain is trying to compute. No, this is a famous person. I've seen them on TV. Well, this is what it was like with Glenn Stearns. Glenn then introduced me to his wife, Mindy. And we chatted a bit, and they said, "Oh, you from South Africa? Do you know Knysna?" And I said, "Yeah, I know Knysna. My dad lives in Knysna." And they said, "Oh, we own property in Knysna." I said, "Oh, really? Where? On Teeson Island?" They said, "No, up at Pazula." She said, "No, we don't get there anything near like we'd like to. Maybe a couple of times we've been there." That now brings me to the point of this television show. How do I know Glenn Stern and his wife, Mindy? Well, it was several months ago that I heard about this TV show called Undercover Billionaire. And the story behind the show was, there's this guy named Glenn Stern. He started, I think, the most successful or the biggest insurance company in America, something like that. He got cancer, had some sort of major rethinking about life, etc., through his health challenges. And he approached a TV network and he said to them, "I have an idea for a reality show, because I want to show people that success in business is not an accident, it's not luck, it's not just finding yourself in the right place at the right time, it is a skill. And it's not just the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And here's how I'm going to prove it. I want you to give me $100 and a vehicle, and you drop me in the middle of nowhere in America, and I'm not allowed to use any of my contacts or any of my wealth. I have to, using the $100 and the vehicle you give me, I have to turn that $100 into $1 million in 90 days. And that's exactly what they did. Eventually it got taken up and they did the series, and they sent a cameraman that followed him, and he would explain to people that he was meeting that some network had heard that he was a down and out guy. He'd kind of lost everything, and he was trying to rebuild his life, and they thought it would be interesting to film it. That's why this guy is filming him. So even the people he's dealing with, they don't understand who he is. They don't know he's a billionaire. They think he's a down and out guy, has lost everything, and he's just trying to rebuild his life. And it is absolutely fascinating to watch what happens. I think there's probably 8 episodes, but it takes you over the 3 months of how he takes $100 and a banged up old bucky, and they drop him in the middle of Midwest, some industrial town in Midwest America that you've never even heard of. And there he starts with his $100. And after 90 days, well, you go and watch the series and you see what happens. There are so many lessons to learn from that series. I would encourage you to watch it. You know, success is so much about what you think. It's about what you believe. It's about how you value certain things. It's about how you understand relationships and people and collaboration. Search around, you get hold of it. It's incredible. Watch it with a notepad. Discuss it with the person that you're watching it with. How can I do what I've just seen him do in order to take the next step forward? Well, I hope that's a blessing to you, and I'll see you again in the next video.